And we are live. The K&K Sports Show Super Bowl preview, Super Bowl number 56. We got a couple comments right out of the gate, guys. Our great friend Ricky Winkowich. I nailed that one tonight. Good evening, gentlemen. And Jeremy Oswald. Good evening, everyone. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Ricky, Jeremy, thank you. Hope all's well your way.
Boys, happy Super Bowl week. You know, it would be a lot nicer if one of our teams were in it. But, hey, you know what? We've had that in the past. This year we got Bengal fans and Ram fans. But, Mr. Rosen, how are you tonight?
I'm doing super. Looking forward to a super show and very excited.
I just want to say this. This is a Super Bowl show, but, you know, Kenny, I don't know if you want to give me 2 minutes later or if I have to wait for tomorrow next week, but I'm disgusted with these New York Knicks, Kenny. And I'm going to rip them a new one, but we'll hold off for that.
Usually I say no problem, but I'm going to jump ahead and we'll in the intro, but
I mean, this is ridiculous.
We're not talking any Knicks tonight.
All right, good.
It's a Super Bowl show.
Good.
And like Paul just said, super show.
Good.
And the Knicks are not super, so leave them out of the.
All right, good.
I see you took your hat off also, Kenny.
Yeah, he took your hat off.
Yeah. I can handle a lot of things, but you know, I've been supporting them all year, but I got to give it a break.
Eddie Murphy, same with the Nets. LOL. We put out a G League team last night. Yeah, listen. Michael K said it today. What a bad night of basketball last night. And he's saying, good evening, Eddie. Eddie, I want Eddie's response if Eddie likes the little do-up on the screen tonight with the Super Bowl and the Rams and the Bengals logo. I hope Eddie likes it. Mr. Kirkpatrick, how are you tonight, my friend?
Doing well. We got a fun-filled show, Super Bowl special, all Super Bowl related tonight, guys. We're going to try and hold off on other questions tonight, so let's try and keep it Super Bowl related in the audience. I know it's usually open agenda. We'll do our best to answer those other questions, but let's try and keep it Super Bowl related. We're going to have some friends and guests coming in all night. Our first guest is waiting in the waiting room. We're going to bring him in a minute right after our introductions here, and we'll get the ball rolling.
Eddie, Ricky saying, wait till you see Saturday setup. It's crazy. Awesome. Eddie Murphy saying, looks like Kurt is live from LA. Yeah, so I got SoFi right behind me here. Mr. Siciliano, my friend. Last but not least, the man of the show, Mr. Sis. What's going on?
Thank you for that introduction. It's so true. Looking very forward to Mr. Breslin.
Yes.
Teach some of these youngsters what the game's all about.
I'm pumped up too, Sis, for that.
Hope everybody's doing well.
Yep. Without further ado, Kurt, let's get the ball rolling. I'm going to bring our first guest in who needs no introduction. He's a regular on our Thursday show.
Okay.
But for those who don't know, we're going to bring in our friend, Mr. Carson Shear from Ticket Time has joined us, and Wits and Wagers Thursdays is with us.
Kenny, I'm getting a little echo from you, Kenny. Little echo.
Little echo from
me. Like a clicking sound.
What's going on, guys?
While you figured out, let's get to Mr.
Carson.
Shear. How are you? How are you, Mr. Shear?
What's up, guys? How we doing? Enjoying this Wednesday, and we are a few days away, boys, from a great Super Bowl. I'm looking forward to it.
And we're going to say this, and not because he's our guy with Wits and Wages, but Carson is the only guy on this panel from day one this year. Watch out for the Rams. Stafford's going to bring them to the Super Bowl. So
that's right. There we go.
And that's why.
There you go.
Why I know it's not. I said it's Super Bowl, so I'm going to get my one Giants thing out of the way now. That's why I trust Kenny Galladay next year with a new offensive coach.
Okay. So let's go. Can I do my quick hitters quick, Kenny?
Yeah, we bring Carson
All
up
right.
for quick hitters. I know he's got a stream coming up at 8:30. Want to thank him for coming on for a few minutes with us.
Of course.
So we got quick hitters with you, Carson, and then your Super Bowl prediction.
All right. I
Sweet.
am going to go Paul, Carson, Sis, and Kenny. That's how I see you guys, okay? Paul, Carson, Sis, Kenny. Here we go. Paul, favorite Super Bowl of all time?
Got to be Super Bowl 42.
Carson.
Man, probably when Brady
you know what?
came
That's
back.
wait. This is a mean question to ask Carson. We're not trying to be mean to the Lion fans. We're not.
Tell him Sunday.
I swear to God,
tell
I'm
him
not.
tell him to ask me that question after Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully
Can you
my
get
favorite
a
one is
vote?
if the Lions ever get it there. But one that was pretty special was when Brady came back 28-3. That was insane.
Okay. Luby Rosen. Hi, guys. I'm getting our Super Bowl barbecue menu ready. Oh, Paul, you're a lucky guy, Paul. Sis, favorite Super Bowl of all time?
42.
I'm going to go 32, obviously. Why? For our first Super Bowl win. Mr. Kirkpatrick, your favorite Super Bowl of all time?
I'll go with the guys at 42, but our first Giants Super Bowl was also pretty special.
Yeah, we don't remember that one around here.
No, I
We
didn't
don't
want to
remember
say
that
the. You notice I didn't say the number for you because
Yeah.
we beat the team called was it that team in Denver?
one. Yeah, that team in Denver.
Don't remind him.
Paul, on Sunday, would you rather have Matthew Stafford or Joe Burrow?
Well, I guess my early prediction will say Matthew Stafford, but you'll hear what I'm going to talk about later. So, but Matthew Stafford.
Real quick, Eddie's saying 42 and 46. Ricky's asking, am I allowed more than one? No, Ricky, you got about 19. No. Carson, this is an easy one for you. Burrow or who would you rather have, Burrow or Stafford on Sunday?
No, Stafford, no question.
Sis?
Josh Allen.
Come on. Who? You got
Joey Burrow.
Ooh, Kenny, you gonna tie this up?
No, I'm going to give the slight edge to Stafford because he did it in his first year with the Rams, and like Carson said, all he needed was the weapons around him and the team around him. So I'm going to take Stafford here in the big spot.
Eddie's going Stafford. Ricky's going Burrow. I'm going Stafford too. Eddie's saying Kenny would rather have Mitch Trubisky.
Yep. Hey, we're close. We got Davis Webb.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Paul, if the Rams lose Sunday, is this year a complete bust?
Say 75%. I wouldn't say complete, but 75%.
Darnell, the playmaker, is saying Stafford also.
What's up, Darnell?
Carson.
Check out Darnell and Ricky on Pipe Bomb Radio. Awesome show on Saturday, Arch Rivals Football. I've been on their show plenty of times. They do a great job.
Absolutely.
Over there. Check them out.
Carson, if the Rams lose, is this year a bust?
I think it is. You talk about what they got to go and get Stafford. They went all in. They got Von Miller. They got Odell. They gave up a lot of their pieces to the puzzle for their future. It's not going to get any easier to have a home Super Bowl in your home stadium. You got to go out and win it.
I'm with you, Carson. I think it's a bust also. Sis, is it a bust?
Side note to our audience, Kurt's 0-3 in the last 3 Super Bowls. No, it's not. I don't think it's a bust. No, I don't.
I am. I think I am.
Yeah, you're bad.
Kenny.
You're bad.
I think Paul nailed it. I think it's like a 70 to 75% bust if they are. Not a complete bust, but close to it.
All right. Luby started this one off. We're going to add on to her. Paul, pizza, wings, or both for Sunday? Or neither?
I know what our menu is, so I'm going to say neither.
Carson, pizza, wings, both, neither.
Especially with Super Bowl Sunday, the more food, the merrier. Bring it all home.
Darnell's saying both. Eddie's also saying, is it really a home game? I think there'll be more Cincy fans in L.A. Ricky's saying wings and chili.
No way.
Pizza, wings, both, or neither?
How about Rosen? He's having a barbecue. He didn't invite nobody. I'm gonna.
Sis,
I'm
we
gonna
leave
go-
on Friday. We can get
to,
there.
You're all invited to Florida.
There you go.
Florida.
I'm going because I'm Sicilian. I'm going with the raviolis and the sauce.
All right. Kenny, pizza, wings, both, neither.
And I'm not invited up to New Jersey for that, sis?
Sure you are. Get on a bus and come
Let's
on.
go. Let's go.
I'm there for that. If I was in New Jersey, it would 100% be pizza, but now it's more 50-50, so I'm going to say both.
Okay. This might be the most important question of the week. Paul, will you have any kind of betting action, boxes, or anything on this game?
I no. The short answer is no. I wish I did, but no.
Carson.
Took the Rams plus 900 before the year started, and if it hits, I win a cool $900. So go Rams!
Nice.
Wow.
Good luck.
Wow.
Nice.
Real quick, Eddie's saying average ticket price this Super Bowl this year, is it? He's saying 9,000. I heard 5. If it's 9, that's crazy.
No,
Eddie-
5 was the cheapest.
Oh, cheapest. Oh, average. Okay. Eddie Murphy's also saying pigs in a blanket, wings, and pizza. Oh, yeah, I'm Eddie. I'm with you. Sis, any betting action on this game?
Absolutely not.
Virilli's answering with blank on a shingle. I guess that's what his answer is for his food. Any kind of action, Kenny?
Yeah, I'm gonna throw some. We're gonna have wits and wagers tomorrow. We'll have We'll have some fun prop bets for you guys to pick tomorrow, and I'm gonna have some fun with the prop bets this year.
All right, Paul. Will you watch I believe it's the Snoop Dre. I'm not sure if it's Eminem. Is it Eminem too? Eminem. Yep. Will you watch the halftime show?
No.
Carson.
Oh, 100%. It's supposed to be one of the greatest halftime shows of all time. Snoop Dogg, Mary J. Blige, Eminem, Dr. Dre. That's a hell of a lineup.
I'm with you, Carson. I will definitely be watching. I always watch it. Sis, will you watch it?
Only if Martha Stewart's on with Snoop.
Mr. Kirkpatrick.
I think I'll watch it.
Which means I'm not watching it.
That was our hip hop phase. In the
Ricky
90s
saying,
there,
wait, the playmaker Darnell saying Snoop, Dre, Eminem, Kendrick Lamar, and Mary J. Blige. That is a pretty damn good lineup. That's a good lineup.
Yeah, I grew up in the '90s in those clubs where they started playing that, Snoop and Dre and.
Ricky's saying it's hosted by Snoop and Martha Stewart. Sis, there you go.
There you go, sis. I guess you're watching.
Yeah, like we couldn't get Kenny out of the Woody Call Club in New York on Canal Street.
Culture Club.
Culture Club. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, Paul.
We had to drag him out.
Paul, for the MVP, will it either be either quarterback, Burrow or Stafford, or the field?
Either quarterback.
Carson.
I'd go with quarterback, but a sneaky one would be Cooper Kupp if the Rams won.
It would. The only thing they said about that, like they were talking about that the other day, but they're saying it's so hard because whatever he has, Stafford's going to have.
Yeah.
It's like, unless he runs two in or something crazy.
Yeah.
Ricky's taking the field. Eddie Murphy's taking Odell Beckham. Sis, either quarterback, would you take the quarterbacks or the field for MVP?
It's always the quarterback, so I'll take the quarterbacks. Yep.
You know what? I'm with Virilli on this. Someone on the Rams defense. I'm going Von Miller or Donald, man. They might have like 12 sacks. Seriously, they might do something crazy.
You stole
I saw
my
some prediction
thunder.
about that.
I'm going to sprinkle a few dollars on those defensive guys.
Yeah.
And don't count Jalen Ramsey out, too.
Yep.
If Burrow starts to try and force it into Chase, and if Ramsey's on Chase, don't be surprised if Ramsey has a game.
Virilli's all over that, man, because that's
a great call, Virilli.
That's a great call. All right, in this game, this is a tough one. Would you rather have, Paul, Cooper Kupp or Jamar Chase?
Actually, that was one of my questions that I was going to ask you guys, but I'm going to go with Cooper Kupp.
I'm going to go with Cooper Kupp, too. Henry Zimmernoff, our good friend, is saying, I sense a blowout in the first half from the Rams. Virilli's saying 8 sacks in round 1. Virilli's also taking Cooper Kupp. Kupp or Chase, Carson?
Yeah, I think you got to go with the Triple Crown winner this year, Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp had an outstanding year, like we all know, and he would not have this big of success if it was for Stafford. I mean, he was a receiver on the Rams last year, but now he's a household name because of this year, because Stafford played a big part.
Mr. Sis, Cooper Kupp or Jamar Chase?
I'm going to go, even though I don't think the Rams are going to win, I'll go with Cooper Kupp for that question for the show.
All right, Darnell saying Kupp, but only by an inch. I'm going Kupp also. Kenny?
Let's be different. Let's go Chase, because I'm going to say the Rams are not going to shadow Chase. So when Chase is on the other guy and not Ramsey, I could see Chase having a big, one of those big 50-yard touchdowns or break a big one. I could see Chase having the bigger game because of that.
All right, 2 more. Paul, do you trust Sean McVay in this game?
I'm going to say for this game, yes. I think he learned from 2 years ago, and I think he's going to prove he's one of the best coaches in the NFL by winning this game.
Carson, do you trust McVay?
Yeah, I got to agree with Coach. I think Sean McVay, he's been here once before, could not get the job done. It's in his home stadium. I think he's going to get it done this year.
Of really saying yes. Eddie's saying if Bengals win, they have to run the run game has to work. Sis, I know you're not the biggest fan of McVay. Do you trust him in this game?
Absolutely not. He'll be out of all 3 timeouts before the halftime.
You better hope not. Kenny.
He's
I'm going to
terrible.
trust him in this game.
He's terrible.
Not 100%, but I'm going to say that he's going to grow a set and he's going to call a fake punt with Johnny Hecker. in this
Okay.
game.
Listen to this stat. Henry saying in the last 6 Super Bowl games, teams that have won the coin toss before the kickoff lost the game. Will the coin toss curse continue this Sunday? That's a crazy stat. And my last one, Paul, do you remember or can you show us your reaction to when your team won the Super Bowl?
I will tell you this. When I sat in Glendale, Arizona, when the Giants won Super Bowl 42, I will tell you I was crying. So I'm not going to cry, but I will tell you I was crying sitting there watching the Giants upset the 18-1 Pats.
That's a great one. Carson, again, we're not trying to be funny on here, but Carson, what do you think your reaction would be?
I'm sure would be if what?
The Lions won a Super Bowl.
Oh my gosh, that'd be unbelievable. I
Jump
mean,
out
that is like the
or
holy
window.
grail of the sports, and like I said, you guys have all experienced one. I'm hoping to experience one day, but it'd be an amazing experience for the city of Detroit if we could ever get one. But I think I have a better chance of getting struck by lightning 5 times.
Listen, 1997, it was just awesome. I remember watching that game, and the game was like back and forth, like so many lead changes with Green Bay, and it was like, oh my God. And then finally, when Favre threw it, Tremora and Mobley broke it up, and I was like, pinch me, is this real? I was just going absolutely nuts. I'll never forget it. Then the best one was the year after that, though. That was like, sit back. Denver was always in control against Atlanta, and it's like, that was like more pressure on that one. But that first one, it was awesome. Sis, do you remember your first Giants win in the Super Bowl?
Yep. Boop, boop. There it is.
Mr. Kirkpatrick, you.
I was with a friend, I think it was Mark. I think I was watching with Mark and pretty much went to school the next day with no voice. So a lot of screaming, the Denver one. But the more realistic one was Super Bowl 25, wide right. I lost it.
There you go.
We
Couple
were
more
screaming in the
comments.
streets. We were having our own little parade down Garfield, New Jersey.
Couple comments. Eddie from Eddie. McVay, lucky he went against Jimmy G last game. Going to the last comment, Ricky saying he had goosebumps and tears. Virilli saying he was 10. He was picking his nose and blanking his butt. So, hey, if that worked for Virilli, that's all it is. He's lucky. He won one at 10. I had to wait till we were out of high school to see ours.
At least they won one.
Eddie Murphy saying if the Lions ever won, Michigan would not be around longer. There would be no more Michigan. The people would just go nuts. Darnell saying jumping up and down as an eighth grader when the greatest show on turf won at Grandma's house.
Right, Darnell is a Rams fan.
Yep. And then Eddie saying if the helmet catch play happens now, do you think it would have been called dead in today's football? Good question.
Great point.
That's
Great
the-
point.
Is that it for quick hitters,
question.
Mr. Valenti?
Those are the quick Super Bowl quick hitters, Mr. Kirkpatrick.
All right.
Can I ask Carson a question about Matthew Stafford?
Of course.
Carson,
Yeah.
does Matthew Stafford need to win the Super Bowl to cement his legacy for the Hall of Fame, you think?
Yeah, that's a good point that you brought up. There's a lot of undervalued stats about Matthew Stafford. I think he's 13th all time in passing yards. He's about to cross 50,000 in his career. I think if he wins Sunday, I think he's Hall of Famer for sure. I think this would put him in.
I agree. So that's it for quick hitters. Let's, Carson, keep you for another minute. Why don't you give us
Yeah,
a
I got
quick
until
key to
8
the game?
o'clock too. I got another 10 minutes.
We got Coach Breslin in the waiting room. So let's give us your quick keys to the game in like 2 minutes or less, and then we'll get Coach Breslin in and your prediction. And then tomorrow we'll do our real Wits and Wagers program. So what are your keys to the Rams winning this game? So I know you're going with the Rams.
Yeah, I think they can't do what they did against Tampa Bay. You know, they gotta hold the lead if they get one. They gotta slow down. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens with Ramsey and Chase. That match is gonna be interesting. Obviously the 49ers 2 weeks ago, they were one of the best rushing teams in football. They were able to slow down the run. If they can stop Mixon and force Burrow to throw the ball, that offensive line is going to have a nightmare to deal with Donald and Miller and those guys. So, I think they got to attack Burrow. And with the offensive side of the ball, I think they just keep doing what they do best is finding the open weapons downfield, get Stafford protection, time to throw, and he'll do his thing. And the run game is going to be important as well.
No, I got two more quick hitter questions for you. Are you hosting a party? Are you going to a party, or neither?
Yeah, I'm actually going to Charleston, South Carolina. Me and my friends are going to be watching the Super Bowl together. So it's going to be pretty cool because we all grew up watching Stafford together.
That's great.
And now we're going to be able to see him together in the Super Bowl. So
That's
I'll be
awesome. That's awesome.
That's great.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
text you. I'm gonna text you off the show. My cousins have a bar/restaurant in Charleston.
Oh, cool.
If
Sounds
you guys,
good. Yeah.
guys check it out. I'll tell them that.
Yeah.
I'm sending. Just send my name. Tell my name, and then you probably
Sure.
get some hookups there. And your prediction, Carson, real quick.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a close game. You know, the Bengals, they've had one hell of a year. Nobody thought that they would get to the Super Bowl. And really, there's not really a so-called villain in this Super Bowl. You've got the underdog story at the Bengals, and then you've got Matthew Stafford, who suffered for over a decade in Detroit, and he deserves everything that comes to him. So honestly, I'm hoping for the Rams to win. I think it's going to be a close game, but I would be also happy too if the Bengals won with the story and the season they've had also.
You know what's
So I'm
funny
gonna
about
say-
that, Carson? I was talking with Jen the other day, and she's like, I said, who's going to win? Who do you want to win? And she's like, there's no hatred this year. There's no Brady or Patriots or, like a team like that, like a Giants, an NFC East team. It's like you're saying, you want, I want the Rams,
Watch that.
but it's true.
I'm going to say like a 30-24 game. And it
Okay.
might go into overtime too.
I like that prediction.
Mhm.
Anything else, guys, for Carson, real quick?
That's it.
We got Coach Breslin waiting. Carson, thanks so much for joining us tonight.
Good
Yeah.
luck Sunday.
I know you got a
Carson.
stream.
Good luck,
Free
Carson.
tonight.
Thank you. Yeah.
Best of luck tonight on your stream. And where can we find you tonight if people want to join you and watch your stream this evening?
Yeah, always. Thanks again for having me, guys. Appreciate you guys always having me on. Looking forward to tomorrow's show as well. But yeah, if you guys are interested in casino content, you can find me on my live streams on Twitch. Just search up Ticket Time and you'll find me there. We do shows Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays at 8:30 Eastern time.
Carson,
Awesome
win
job,
some money tonight. Throw it all on Stafford on Sunday.
There we go.
Bang.
That's the plan.
That's it.
Well, Carson, have a great evening. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Yeah,
For Wits
sounds
and
good.
Wagers.
See you guys.
Good luck.
Take care, everybody. See ya.
Good
See you
night,
later,
Carson.
Carson.
All right, Carson.
I'm going to bring our next guest right in. Coach Breslin, we're a little late. Hey, Coach.
Hey, how you guys doing? Can you see my board?
Yes, we
There
can.
he is,
Yes,
man.
sir. Sorry, we're
How we
running.
doing?
These type of shows we run a little behind, so you're used to
No
this with
worries
us.
at all. Let me see if I can try to get this a little closer for you too. So I don't know. Let's see if that makes a difference or not.
That's
Yeah,
perfect.
there we go.
Good.
It's clear
That's
enough.
better.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Cool.
How we doing,
so how you
Coach?
guys doing tonight? All right.
We're
Good.
good.
How's it?
Good.
Good to see you as always.
Nice to see you guys too. Just busy, man. Running all over.
We brought you in, Kurt. We brought Sis. Paul. We wanted to bring you in for your whiteboard special.
Awesome.
You know,
Are chalking it up.
The defensive guys.
Heavy
So-
hitters, man.
I know
Heavy
we got.
hitters.
I know we got a couple couple of questions for you regarding the Rams defense. I think that's what we drew up, right? The Rams defense.
Sure, that's what we had talked about. Absolutely. So we can talk about those questions first.
You guys mind if I go first? Get
No,
mine out?
real quick though, Kenny. Our good friend Dan Worley saying hello, my good friend. What's up, Dan?
Hey, Dan.
Nice.
We're gonna see
I
you
like the
soon,
background
for sure.
too, Kurt. Looking good.
It's like I'm live in LA.
I know. Nice.
Coach, my first quick one for you. My quick one for you is we all know the Bengals got a nice little offense there, but their offensive line is kind of weak. I want to know how you would stop, how you plan on stop. If you were a defensive coordinator, what would you do with Jamar Chase? Would you double team him? Would you keep him with Jalen Ramsey, etc.? How would you defend Jamar Chase?
Well, I think what's going to happen is that, and I saw this, I was reading the article a little bit too. I think they're going to put Ramsey on Chase no matter what, right? Again, Sis and I, we talked about this all the time. And Belichick is known for this. You have to stop their number one priority, okay?
Exactly.
They're paying Jalen Ramsey a lot of money. Now, are they going to change coverages? Are there going to be situations where they could potentially double cover him? And here's where that could potentially happen. Jalen Ramsey is going to be on Jamar Chase the whole time, okay? How they're going to potentially double cover them is that they could potentially run cover one, right? And if they run cover one, they're going to say everybody has their own guy. And then it could potentially, if Jamar Chase goes to the middle of the field, that safety could end up, helping in those situations. That's one way of doing it, to allow them to the ability to double cover him in some situations. But they're going to try to take their number one guy out of the mix by putting Jalen Ramsey on him most of the time. Will they try to run some zone coverages just to try to mess them up? Sure, they're going to, they're not just going to run, man coverage the whole time. But when it push comes to shove, Jalen Ramsey will be on Jamar Chase, without a doubt.
Paul, why don't you get your question in?
Yeah, I had a similar question that you did, Kenny. But Coach, so if Jalen Ramsey is one-on-one, the Bengals still have two very good receivers, Boyd and Higgins. How do the Rams defend those two weapons?
Well, I think, again, there are going to be situations where they're going to be one-on-one. They're playing man coverage, and they're trying to take away Chase with potentially the ability to, have the safety over the top to help on him. Those guys are going to have to get open for the Bengals to be successful. So if they run in situations where those guys are starting to become successful, then they're going to have to change coverages, zone them up a little bit, so they're not playing, man to man. But what I would say is this: I'm going to make sure in those situations, force them to beat you with those other two guys. Don't allow Jamar Chase to beat you, right? Mm-hmm. One of the things I did look up too is the Rams have they're in the top 10 in run defense. Okay, so their front seven, they're pretty good from run defense perspective. So if they can stop the run, again, that's going to be huge for them. But I'm going to make those other two guys make plays. And if they can make plays, then sure, then you have to change coverages. You got to mix it up, and you have to do that anyway. But I'm still going to say Jamar Chase is going to be the guy that I am going to make sure, because when it's crunch time, where do you think that Joe Burrow is going to look? Yep. He's going to look to him first. And if he's not open, you're hoping those other guys are going to get open. And just to piggyback off of that, the safety that's coming in, he's coming in, he's retired, he's going to have to make some plays. And if he can't cover those guys, they're going to have to do something different.
Awesome, Coach. Sis, what do you got for Coach?
Yeah, Coach, do they beat them up front, and do they play, half man, half zone in this game?
Well, one of the things I did some research on with the Rams is they play a lot of, they'll play some quarter, half coverage, right? Okay. So they're going to play, and they could do that potentially to Jamar Chase's side, where, they have, if he's to that side and they run quarters to his side, they have two deep guys to force them to do something underneath, right?
Correct.
And then to the opposite side, run like a cover 2 scheme where you're going to jam and then you're just going to play over the top. So that corner is sitting for any type of a flat route. If they don't get any type of pressure to the flat, all right, then you have a situation where that corner can get depth to take away anything a little deeper and make that window a lot tighter to get the ball in. So I see some of those kind of coverages to take away the big plays. On the flip side of that, I think that the Bengals are going to have to do something where they're going to have to get the ball out a lot faster. And if they're doing that and you're playing man coverage, that's going to make it more difficult for them to be able to get that ball out faster in some situations.
Thank you.
And Kurt.
Coach, I got one. I know they always say this is the key against Brady, but from the looks of it, they do struggle. Cincinnati struggles with their O-line. The Rams' strength, and really saying it too, is that front four. How nice is it if they could consistently get pressure just with those front four? I guess I have two-part questions. So now you have 7 in coverage. What can that do? Like if they could do that, and now you as a D coordinator, hey, I have 7 now to play around with this. How nice is that? And would you be worried at all? Because in the last, I believe it was the game against KC, Burrow did make a couple, have a couple 3, on third downs, 3rd and 7s, runs for 8, gets the first down. Would you think about spying him at all in situations like that?
Not unless he's going to beat me, all the time. I'm probably not going to spy Joe Burrow. But what I am going to say is this, and I think it's really important, is rush lanes, right? Being able to make sure. One of the things we talk about, we actually talked about this, a couple of weeks, the state championship game is, if these guys, if Von Miller is just running up the field and getting past the quarterback's leverage in his shoulder, now you've just created a huge rush lane. So you have to get to a certain point where you get to where he is. And then if you have to, then you've got to work back inside. Joe Burrow is very, very, mobile. He does a good job with that. So there's going to be situations where he could potentially get a first down. But rush lanes are going to be important. And one of the things that is also important, I think, is, and I've seen this on film from the Rams, is even if they just bring an extra linebacker up to the line of scrimmage, and whether they drop him or not, making the Bengals single block guys is going to be a problem for them. And whether they're putting 3 to a side, which they've done in some situations, so they're going to put their nose, they're going to put their end and the linebacker to one side. So now they're going to have to slide, protect that. Are they going to have to then keep like Joe Mixon in to help chip those guys to force them to, not get to the quarterback? Those kind of things are going to have to happen, because if it's one-on-one, they're going to have some major issues of trying to protect. So that's why I'm talking about trying to get the ball out early, some short passes, some bubble screens, or anything to try to slow them down a little bit to, because you don't want to get sacked 9 times again.
Coach, I got one more for you. If you were the defensive coordinator of the Rams and they said to you, you could either have Donald or Von Miller, just one of them go off and just be disruptive. If you were the defensive coordinator, which one would you rather have the bigger game? Donald from the inside or Von from the outside?
Donald from the inside. Because if you can put pressure up front in his face, and you talk about Tom Brady, when does Tom Brady have the most amount of issues? Is when somebody is coming straight up in his face and it's forcing him to maneuver or try to throw over. Joe Burrow's very good at, if that guy is coming from the outside, he's going to step up and he's going to be able to avoid that. Coming from right up the middle makes it very, very hard to be able to make throws. So, hey, listen, if I can play with 4 up front and put pressure on, and I can cover with 7, that's a win-win for me. And then pick and choose when I'm going to blitz and really try to put them in binds of single blocking me. And now I have to single block, Von Miller. I have to do it for the other guy. That's hard to do.
Coach, do you see the Rams moving Donald? Of course, having him come up the middle is a big advantage, but to exploit their weak offensive line? Do you see them moving him around to try and exploit the weakest player on the offensive line for the Bengals?
100%. Let me ask you this question, Paul. When Tufts got hurt for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, what did they do with him? They put him right over that guy and made him block him. They're going to, me personally, I'm going to find the weakest link of their offensive line, which I think is probably, I believe it's the right guard is one of their weakest links. Absolutely. I am going to find ways to make him have to single block him every time. If I'm putting 3 to his side and forcing him to single block me, I'm going to do that. Force them to make sure, all right, that they're going to have to do something different. Yeah. All the time. Yep.
Kurt, I'm going to pull Coach away from the whiteboard for 2 minutes before we sit and have him do a little would you rather. I know that, Paul, if this steals anything from your segment, I apologize, but
that's all right.
It's going to be for us anyway, because I think we may have some similarities here.
Not a problem.
So, Coach, I'm going to do would you rather LA versus Cincinnati style with you, and we'll see who wins out of LA and Cincinnati. Would you rather have Ja'Marr Chase or Cooper Kupp, Coach?
You know what? Listen, I think Ja'Marr Chase is a stud. Okay, and I don't believe you have to double cover Cooper Kupp, but I think in situations you have to double cover Ja'Marr Chase. So I want Ja'Marr Chase.
Okay.
I like Cooper Kupp. Don't get me wrong. I think he's a great player, but I think Ja'Marr Chase gives you other types of things that he can't do.
Awesome. We're going to stay in the football theme here for this next one. Would you rather have Matthew Stafford or Joe Burrow? I know Kurt asked that in his quick hitters.
Well, you know what? I'm going to say this. I like Joe Burrow. I like his moxie. He won a national championship. He's done things. Again, we talk about getting sacked 9 times and still coming out and being successful. So he's a tough dude. If I had to pick and choose, again, I think the Rams have a better team. But if I had to pick somebody that I was going to start a team with and I had those 2 choices, I'm probably picking Joe Burrow.
Okay. Little food question here for you. LA created the French dip. Would you rather have a French dip or Cincinnati style chili?
I'm going to go with the French dip.
Here's a fun one. Which actress would you rather see, or Marilyn Monroe or Doris Day?
I'm going to go Marilyn Monroe.
2 quarterbacks that were born. One was born in LA. One was born in Cincinnati. Roger Staubach or Russell Wilson? Little today and past there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I'm one of the older guys. Roger Staubach, he was a great player. So I'm going with Roger Staubach. I'm a Redskin fan, so when I'm rooting,
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Commander fan. You got to get used to saying Commanders, Coach.
I know.
Commanders.
Yeah, well, you know what?
Here's one off the
I don't
record.
know.
Here's one off the record. Commanders or Washington football team?
Washington football team.
Yeah. It's going to take some time to get used to Commanders. Couple baseball ones for you, Coach. Mike Piazza or Johnny Bench?
I'm a Cincinnati Red fan. Johnny Bench.
Nice. Did not know that. And I guess I know where you're going on this one. Pee Wee Reese or Barry Larkin?
Martin.
And the last one before your prediction. LA Law or WKRP in Cincinnati?
LA Law. I remember that. I remember WKRP as well, but LA Law is good. I like LA.
All right. And your Super Bowl prediction, Coach?
Well, you know what?
I'm going to tell you this before you go, Coach. You are tied 4 for LA and 4 for Cincinnati. So your prediction is going to tell you if you're more LA or Cincinnati.
Oh, is that what it is? Well, again, I'm concerned. I don't want the Rams to win because of Jalen Ramsey. I'm not a fan, and I'm not a fan of OBJ. Right? I'm just not a fan of either one of those guys.
And a boy, Coach. Either am I.
Right, but I think they're going to struggle. I really do. They are going to have a hard time protecting. I think they could potentially run into a problem being able to run the ball. And then what are they going to do?
Yeah.
And if Jalen Ramsey takes Jamar Chase out of the game for the most part, again, he's going to make some plays. Okay. I think it could be a situation where the Bengals are going to be in trouble. Just my gut feeling. I'm hoping that's not the case, but I think this could be a situation where the game gets out of reach for them, and they are trying to just throw the ball down the field to try to make plays, and they're going to have – listen, I have a funny feeling if they can't run the ball at all, that these guys are just going to tee off, and they're going to put –
Burrow with a 1st and 10, Mixon in the backfield, and he's hit off right out of the blocks that time by Washington.
They're down, steps up, and will take off and get the first down.
10, fake to Mixon, moving up Burrow, and down wide open, he's got Higgins again inside the 15.
Stafford throws, looking for Kupp, and he hits him. Got to be.
Line play and how important line play is. As much as I want to root for Joe Burrow and the Bengals, I just think they're going to struggle up front. And unless they have a great plan of how they're going to get the ball out fast, I'd like to see that, and I'm hoping that happens. I just think they're going to struggle a little bit.
Guys, anything else for Coach Breslin?
That's it. He's the best.
He was
Personally,
amazing.
The best.
Fantastic.
Personally,
He's
thank
the
you
best.
for your busy schedule, Coach, to take time with us for a few minutes is greatly appreciated.
No problem at all. I enjoy coming on all the time, as always. And like I said, if they put situations where they're going to go one-on-one, they will truly struggle being able to block with that offensive line. And it could potentially be a long day. But, you always hope it's a good game. I don't know. My gut feeling is that it's going to be 2 touchdowns.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you,
No
Coach.
problem.
Thank you,
the
Coach.
game
Coming on,
Sunday.
Coach.
That was
Thanks,
great.
guys. As always, I appreciate your time and appreciate the opportunity.
We'll see and talk to you soon.
You guys. I'll talk to
Appreciate
you
your
guys soon.
time. Thank you,
Right.
Coach.
All right. Got a couple comments. Dan, Cup is a beast. Dan's also saying Cincinnati has never won, even though I didn't want them there. It would be cool to see him win it. Dan's also saying Boyd's going to have a big game. For really keep Burrows on the turf simple. Dan saying I've been doing pretty well predicting football the last few weeks, including calling Brady's retirement. He's picking Bengals 28-23.
Nice. Kurt, you're going to have the pleasure of introducing our next 2 guests.
All right. Here they are. They're back in action. What's up, boys? First off, I want to give a shout out to Xavier. It was his 11th birthday yesterday, so happy birthday, Xavier.
Hello. For those who don't know, Kurt, who are these guys?
These
Here they are.
Joey and Xavier Scher, my nephews. They've been big football fans, and we're ready to go for them. So let's just start very simple, guys. Okay, just to give you, Xavier's a Bronco fan. Joe is a Green Bay fan. So Paul, that could be a major problem down the road in a couple of weeks. It could be a major problem. But Joe, I'll just start with you, Joe. Give me who's going to win the Super Bowl. Give me a score and give me the MVP.
The Rams. MVP Matthew Stafford, 28-14.
All right, Xavier, what about you?
What's your predictions? No. Can you tell me who do you think and who do you think? No, you want to say no.
What do you got, Xavier? Who do you got?
Bengals.
You got the Bengals, and who do you got for the MVP?
What's that guy's name?
Burrow,
Burrow.
Chase?
Joe Burrow.
Joe
Oh,
Burrow.
boy, kid.
Okay.
Did you guys say hi to
His nephews.
Mr. Paul and Mr. Sis?
Hey,
Hello.
guys.
Hi.
What's
Hey
up?
guys, how you doing?
Hi.
These guys are big sports fans, Paul. I mean, they know, and I tell you, they know the sports. They're unbelievable with the sports. I gotta just ask this one question to Xavier.
Well,
Xavier.
wait. Before we ask any more questions, I do this every time the boys come on. Before we continue, boys, are we doing good in school?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, doing
Hey,
good. Everything's
students.
good.
Yeah.
Getting
I
good
have
grades?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Should Aaron Rodgers be traded to the Broncos?
No.
That's the Packer fan.
That's the Packer fan. Xavier, do you want Aaron Rodgers as our quarterback?
I don't know.
Yeah, he said, I don't know.
We'll have a
He's
conversation
smart
later
boy.
tonight.
Smart kid. You're smart, Xavier.
Sis, anything for the boys?
Yep. Happy birthday, Xavier.
Thanks.
And Joey, what sports are you playing now, Joe? Basketball?
Yeah.
Do you like basketball better than football?
No.
That's a good man. These guys got the giggles tonight.
Yeah, they're fired up. I got to tell you, listen, they're PS5 fans. They did very well from Christmas from everybody, from all the families. So they're big PS5 guys. But I think they'll be happy. I think Xavier's gonna look good in the Aaron Rodgers orange jersey. That's all I'm gonna say.
Hi guys.
That's it.
All right. So, boys, are we having pizza, wings, or what are we eating?
Pizza,
Super Bowl
pizza.
Sunday?
Of course, pizza.
What's the favorite topping on pizza? Pepperoni, cheese?
Pepperoni, cheese, sauce.
As long as you don't say Hawaiian, you're okay in my
That's
book,
it.
guys.
That's it.
Yeah.
Oh, we lost them. There they are. All right, boys. Anything? Last thing? What?
No.
What? Oh, I got one more thing for Joe. Jimmy Garoppolo. Do you think he's a good quarterback?
No, Josh. Dog water.
I can't hear you.
They're fired up, man.
He's good. He's good.
They got
He's good. He's good.
How much sugar did they eat?
Yeah, they got sugar
misbehaving
tonight.
tonight. They're misbehaving
They
tonight.
got sugar tonight. All right, boys. I think we're good. One has the Lions. One has the Rams. One has the Bengals. Garoppolo, Stafford.
And neither wants Aaron Rodgers to go to Denver. So I think we're good.
We'll get there. I'll get Xavier. I'll talk to Xavier about that.
Wait
Don't worry
till
about it.
Dave comes on and gives that. I hope Dave's listening that your nephew doesn't want Aaron Rodgers and he's a Bronco fan. All right, boys. And, thank you for coming on for a couple minutes with us.
Have a good
Later,
night,
giggles.
boys.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
All right.
Paul, I got to show you a video of when, oh my God, it had to be about 5 or 6 years ago. So the little one had to be like,
While you're talking, I'm
4.
bringing in one of our regulars.
And
Mr.
it was
Beal,
just,
that's
it was
joining
just
us.
crazy of like, he knew every quarterback. It was, these guys are nuts. It's great,
Well,
There he
that's-
is.
That's wonderful.
There
Mr.
he
Phelan
is.
is in time for what's on Sis's mind.
Time. I love it.
You're up, Sis. What is on your mind?
Guys, by the way, breaking news. We have not had any comments so far throughout the week. So nothing up on the board for Beelan yet, but he has time tonight to say something. But right now,
We're
there's
gonna have
nothing.
a March Madness bracket, Phelan.
Yeah.
So, Sis, you are up, my friend.
First time I get interrupted tonight, I will stop my segment. So you know, I will move on. Okay.
Man.
We'll start with Kurt, Paul, Kenny, and Beelan. Will this be an exciting game or boring? Kurt.
More boring than exciting.
Paul.
I'm gonna disagree with Kurt. I think it's gonna be an exciting game.
Kenny.
More exciting than people think. I'm gonna say exciting.
Beelan.
Very exciting. A lot of playmakers on both sides of the team.
Okay. Next question. Who will step up and who will be a disappointment player-wise? Kurt.
I'm going to say
Who
Beckham.
will
Is,
step up? and
Odell
who will be-
Beckham is going to. I'm going to say this. Odell Beckham, I think, has a legit chance for MVP in this game. And
Okay.
I'm going to say disappointment. I'm going to say is Joe Mixon because they're just not going to be able, like Coach Breslin said, they're not going to be able to run the ball at all. And I mean, they're going to take him completely out of the game. So I'm going to go Mixon as a disappointment.
Paul, same question.
I'm gonna agree with Kurt. OBJ, and not because it's gonna be his fault, but I'm gonna say Joe Burrow may not have the game that he's been playing over the last few weeks in the playoffs.
Kenny.
I'm gonna go running back for the Rams, Cam Akers. It's gonna have a big game. Disappointment is gonna be on the Bengals side. Like Coach Breslin said, he thinks Ramsey's gonna be glued to Chase the whole game. I'm gonna say Jamar Chase is gonna have a disappointing game.
Mr. Beelan.
Man, I'm going to go opposite than all you guys. I'm going to go Jamar Chase is going to blow out Ramsey. And it's going to disappointing is going to be the Rams defensive line, which I know Sis is big on defensive lines.
The next question, Kurt, is it Stafford or Burrow who will make a huge difference in this game?
I'm going to say Stafford because I just think, again, Burrow's just going to get harassed. You saw it last year with Tampa Bay on Mahomes, and, you're not playing Kansas City's defense this week. So I'm going to go Stafford, and I just think Mahomes is going to be pressured all night long. So I think Stafford will make the better play.
Paul.
Bigger play.
Yeah, I'm going to echo Kurt. Stafford.
Kenny.
I'm with Kurt and Paul. I'm gonna go Stafford as well.
Before I jump to the next one, this is really interesting.
Oh, you forgot Mr. Beelan, Ken. Sis.
Oh, I'm sorry, John. I'm sorry.
It's
John.
okay. It's okay. No, I'm gonna say Burrow because Burrow has nothing to lose. Stafford, they traded for him. They got everything there. They got that.
That's a good point. There's a lot of pressure on Stafford.
A lot of pressure. First time in the Super Bowl.
Sorry about that.
It's the
Mr.
first time
Beelan.
for Burrow.
A lot of people aren't looking at this, but I did some homework this afternoon with this. It really jumped out when you look at the Bengals, okay? They held Kansas City and Mahomes to 3 points in the second half. That's a huge, huge stat in my book.
Mhm.
But I just wanted to throw that in there. Okay. Will Eli Apple get toasted for a touchdown? Kurt.
Yes.
Paul.
Yes, he will be a baked apple.
Kenny.
I like that.
Agree. He's gonna get beat for a touchdown.
And Mr. Beelan.
Twice he's gonna be an apple pie.
Back to Kurt. Can the Bengals run the ball on the Rams?
No.
Paul.
I don't think so.
Kenny.
I say yes.
Mr. Beelan.
They can get that zone in there. I think they definitely could.
Okay. Back to Kurt.
Here's the key, though, sis. The Bengals can't be like, 3 carries for 10 yards and say we can't. They got to run the ball. They got to all game long. They got to 20, 25, 30 carries. They got to run the ball.
Coach Breslin nailed it. If you got to go to throwing a bomb,
they're done. They're dead. They're dead.
Yeah, the game's over. I agree with that. We're going to go back to Mr. Valenti. Rams D. Can they shut down the Bengals offense?
Yes.
Mr. Paul.
I think they can, but I think the Bengals have enough explosive weapons that they can explode a couple of times and move the ball. So I'll say yes, but it can happen at times that the Bengals can move the ball.
Kenny?
Rams aren't going to be able to. I'm going to say no. I think the Bengals are going to put up enough points that the Rams defense ain't going to be the deciding factor here.
Okay. Mr. Beelan.
Nah, I don't think Joey Burrow is going to be the next wave of quarterbacks coming through like Mahomes was.
I definitely agree with that. Kurt, more pressure, Burrow or Stafford?
Stafford. Boy, what do you mean? Like pressure from defense or pressure on to win?
Who has more pressure on them in this game?
Beelan nailed it. Stafford.
Okay.
Yeah.
Paul?
Yeah, agree. It's Stafford.
Kenny?
Say Stafford, but Burrow's got a little pressure too. Hometown kid. First time. I'm going to go Burrow because this is Cincinnati. He could be the first quarterback to win Cincinnati Super Bowl. So let's go Burrow here.
Mr. Beelan said Stafford, correct?
Yep.
Back to Kurt. Is there a home team advantage, even though the game's in LA?
You know what? I was just talking about this with my boss in work.
Right.
A lot of these $9,000, $5,000.
Right.
A lot of just true fans they can't buy those tickets. So I'm going to say no. It's a lot of corporate people.
I
And
agree.
Cincinnati
Yeah.
will bring, I'm going to go no. Not, I mean, they might a little, but it's not going to be like 90-10 in a home game. No.
Right. Paul?
From my experience being at Glendale for Super Bowl 42, there were 65-35 Giant fans to Patriot fans. So I'm going to say there's got to be a advantage playing at home. So yes.
Kenny?
Agree with Paul. Tampa Bay did it last year to the Chiefs. Yeah, it was the coaching too, but Tampa Bay blew out Kansas City in that Super Bowl. And who would have thought that? But I'm going to say yes, and don't be surprised if it is another blowout on Sunday.
Mr. Beelan?
I don't think so. It's a Super Bowl. Like Kurt said, it's too much money involved with corporate America on this thing. So it's not really real true fans there.
All right, big guy. Kurt, which team will have the most turnovers?
Cincy.
Paul?
I agree. Cincinnati.
Kenny?
Yep, I agree with the guys.
Mr. Beelan?
Can I say a tie?
Sure, yeah, absolutely. Back to Kurt. In your opinion, this is for all you. Are these the best two teams in the Super Bowl this year?
You know what? I swear to God, this was on my, I was going to say, and I forgot to write it down. Absolutely not.
I 1,000% agree with you. Paul?
Yeah, no.
Kenny?
Definitely not in the AFC, but you have an argument for the NFC.
Okay.
Yes, I think the NFC got their best team in.
Mr. Beelan?
I mean, again, it was perspective over actual reality. I mean, reality, yeah. Perspective, no. But NFC, yes.
Okay. Back to Kurt. Are the Bills in Kansas City better than both of these teams?
They're better than the Bengals, but they're not better than the Rams now.
Okay. Paul?
Good question. I don't think
That's why I
the
asked
Bengals to blow an 18-point lead, but I think the Rams are better than both of those teams. So I'm going to say no.
Kenny?
Agree with Kurt and Paul. I think the Rams are better than both those teams this year.
Okay.
Got Beelan again.
Hey, Mr. Beelan, sorry.
I'm going to switch it up. I'm going to say no.
Okay. And that wraps it up. I'm done. Finito.
right.
Finite. Thank you, gentlemen.
Paul, why don't we hold off on your segment and we'll play along with Dave with your segment when he comes on, because I got Coach Frank's been waiting patiently in the waiting room, so I want to bring him in to give us his keys to the game as a Rams fan. You okay with that, Kurt?
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, absolutely.
Bring Coach in. I'll let you introduce him.
Of course.
And then Dave will be with you in approximately 15 minutes. There's Coach.
Coach Calandrillo, can you hear us?
I can hear you well. Can
All
you,
right.
I'm not too loud this time, am I? Kurt?
No, you're perfect. Let me introduce Coach Frank Calandrillo.
Hey, guys.
You know, we call him Coach because he started me with the coaching way back when, I believe in 93, I think it was, or 94, with the Garfield Junior Boilermakers. But again, legendary coach for the Garfield Junior Boilermakers. On staff now as an assistant to his son, and they just ran the table this year, won the Super Bowl. So again, congratulations, Coach, on that. But bigger thing tonight is Coach is a big-time Rams fan. Oh, go ahead, Coach.
You were a great coach, Kurt. And,
Thank you.
I everything you did. I've been a Rams fan since I was probably before you were born. You know, watching the Rams go to Minnesota on the frozen tundra after sweeping the West and losing to Bud Grant and Joe Kapp, and I still have battle scars from watching those games.
Burrow with a 1st and 10. Mixon in the backfield, and he's hit off right out of the blocks that time by Washington.
They're down.
So it's in my blood.
Coach, I want to welcome you. Been a long time since seen you, but great. You and your dad great friends to my family, and always a pleasure to see you. And can't thank you enough for coming on tonight.
It's a
to
pleasure.
be with us.
Listening to your show periodically. You guys do a great job. Coach Breslin did a great analysis of the game, and I really appreciate you listening to that. And Xavier and Joey, great additions to the show.
There you go.
Kurt, I know a couple. If anybody has questions for Coach Frank, please do them. But you explained, Coach. One of my questions to you was going to be how you became a Rams fan, but I'll ask you another question, and then we'll get your keys to the game after everybody asks you a question if they have it. Who's your favorite Ram of all time? Two quick questions. Favorite Ram of all time and your favorite Super Bowl. Which one of the Super Bowls was your favorite?
Well, my favorite Ram of all time, I fell in love with the defensive line. And I got to say two guys, Merlin Olsen and Deacon Jones. They were the original fearsome foursome. In fact, I have 2 shot glasses for the Super Bowl.
There you go.
With their names on them.
Nice.
Hopefully I'll be able to utilize them and be able to celebrate. I believe it was the Super Bowl in 2000 when they played the Titans. And that was a great game. That was a great Super Bowl game. Obviously, I'm biased because I'm a Ram fan. That was my favorite Super Bowl, obviously.
Don't talk to Rob Neely about that one because he's a diehard Titan fan. So
I was going to go off script real quick, and then I promise I'll let the rest of you guys know. What was your reaction, Coach, when they stopped them at the one? What was it? What was the receiver's name? Dyson.
Yeah.
Dyson. Yeah, Kevin Dyson.
What was your reaction?
Honestly, I thought he was going to get in. And when the linebacker came up, stopped him at, I believe, the 1 foot line or right within the 1 yard, it was just a lot of relief because it's been a while since the Rams were in that position. I'll never forget back in 85 when they played Pittsburgh. I was at a local bar in Taps watching the game, and the Rams lost with Ferragamo, and there was all Pittsburgh fans in the bar. I think I was probably the only Ram fan there. But it was, like I said, I have my battle scars, and seeing them win that Super Bowl was great.
Kurt, I'll let you take over the order, how everybody wants to ask
all right, let Paul. Go ahead, Paul.
Yeah, I have a question, but I also have a statement. Coach, big Giants fan. I've probably been a Giants fan as long as you've been a Rams fan. The Flipper Anderson game, as it's been known to Giant fans. Give us your reaction of that game.
I was actually at that game with a good friend of mine, John Marshall, who was a Giants fan. And the funny thing is I had all my Ram shirt on and jackets on, and we sat in an area with a lot of really nice Giant fans. There was elderly, they were pleasant.
Some of us are.
and when I going in there, it was a great experience seeing Flipper run into the tunnel. It was all good. Walking out of the stadium when the Rams beat the Giants, that was difficult. You were being yelled at. You were being Ram fan.
No, Giant fans wouldn't do that, would they?
Well, that particular day, especially with Flipper running into the tunnel, I think that kind of pissed them off.
My question to you is, which pair is better receivers, Cooper Kupp and OBJ, or Torrey Holt and Isaac Bruce?
Oh. I have to say,
listen, I'm asking the question, Beelan.
The greatest show on turf, I think, was phenomenal. I think the pair, I have to go with Bruce and Holt.
Awesome. Kurt, you want to take over the order?
Yeah, Sis, anything for Coach Calandrillo?
Yeah, Coach Calandrillo, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome, sir. I want to know, because I coached with this guy at Ramapo for 40 years. When you coached him, you did coach him in Pop Warner, right?
No, I coached. You know what? It's funny because I played. I never had Coach Calandrillo as a player. I never had him. I never played down. I went right up to the intermediates. I coached with Coach Calandrillo.
Okay, because that was going to be my question. I know he gave you a couple of dollars to come on his show and say that he's a great coach. I'm only teasing, but that was going to be
how this all work. You know, I love the junior Boilermakers. I was a product of them.
Yes, sir.
And when I had the opportunity to move to the intermediates, because I coached the PTs for like 10 years, I wanted to bring on a good staff. I wanted to bring some young, energetic guys that knew the game, and they had as much passion as I did. And you know, Kurt and some of the Olimos and the Zuxes, we had a great group of younger guys, and I was the old guy of the group. I had to make sure they didn't curse at all at practice and on the side, but not Kurt. Kurt, he was the best out of all of them. He never got out of line.
Yeah, he never threw too many F-bombs around when I was with him either. He's a class act, and thank you for your input. I appreciate it. It's great to have you on the show.
Thank you.
Coach, I'll go next and then Beelan, but what do you think the three biggest keys offensively and defensively for your Rams?
Obviously, I believe that, you know, they have to establish the running game, which is everybody knows that watches the Rams, because if you put the pressure on the quarterback, you know, during the playoffs he's been good, but prior to that he was pretty erratic. You know, he was able to be shaken up a little bit, and I think they have to establish the running game. I think they got at least two of their running backs are healthy now. There was talks of Henderson, I believe, coming off the disabled list. I'm not sure how much or how prepared he would be, since I don't think he practiced this week yet. But I think that's going to be the key. And one thing I've noticed after the San Francisco game, you know, losing to San Fran 6 times, I think that woke the Rams up, because, you know, the talk was they're not tough enough, they can't play physical football, and that really, since that game, I believe they really became a better team. You know, so I think they have to run the ball. They have to be able to, you know, Coop, he gets open. You know, they have a relationship. You know, I was watching Good Morning Football. They're always together. They go early in the morning. It's almost like how the Patriots used to have it with Brady. You know, he knew his receivers. Certain receivers, they knew what they were going to do in certain situations, and he has that relationship. Odell, they were lucky to pick him up because you know, Woods was a fantastic receiver, and you know, that's what hurt them last year. I believe he was injured last year as well, but you know, Woods is superior. He was coming on. He was having almost as many receptions as Cooper, you know, and but they have a formidable receiving core. You know, the tight end Hibby, I think his knee is hurting him still, so I'm not sure, ACL. So I'm not sure what his status is going to be, but he's going to be a big part of the game by him not being able to play.
I got one, Coach. I'm gonna play devil's advocate. Our good friend who's our next guest, David Slade from Rocky Mountain Sports Network, always brings this up in our little chats. The Rams, just the opposite of the Bengals, pretty much they went all in and traded for Stafford, traded for Von Miller, gave up a lot of draft picks. And I think alone in next year's draft, I think they don't have a pick until the 5th round. Are you okay with them going all in for this Super Bowl and just give up on your future for the next few years? Or are you kind of upset that you gave up that many draft picks, even though you're in the Super Bowl this year?
It's hard to say I'm upset, because look where they are. You know, they're in the big. They made it to the big dance. They're in the big game. So did they risk everything? Yes, they did. They have 6 free agents after this season, And these are some big guys. So I think the pressure is on them. I think they know it. And what I believe about the NFL, it's look, they're all great athletes. They're all capable of great things, but it's who wants to win the most, who has to win the most that really motivates and brings out their true talents. And I think the Rams have to get it done. You know, no matter every situation you look at with them, it's now or may not happen for a decade.
I agree, Coach, and I think it has to do with the markets too. If LA was still in St. Louis, you may not see them buying all these players or trading all these players, but I think there's pressure to win in LA, new stadium. I think there's just more pressure in the big markets to win. So if it means going all in and going for that Super Bowl, I think the bigger markets do it more often than small markets.
I think by hosting the Super Bowl really was a big part of them going all in.
Yeah,
and I have to look back. If I'm their coach, I show some of those players played against the Patriots, and I remind them of how they were embarrassed against the Patriots. I mean, that was a horrific game for the Rams. And as a Ram fan, I felt bad losing, but I felt bad for these guys, how bad they were. They really didn't show up.
Coach, I got two quick ones for you. You mentioned about being home. Were you a little disappointed NFC Championship game, so many Niner fans, or did you expect that?
I don't really know the area that well, but it's always disappointing. You know, if you got true fans, you're going to go to the games. You're not going to sell the tickets to
right. It's a NFC Championship game. You know, you're home.
Can you imagine that happening in New York?
No,
never.
No. Yeah.
No, Giant fans, through thick and thin, they look at the big picture here, and I was disappointed in that, honestly.
And then one more for me, because me and Sis always says this is, and I guess I'll ask you, but you know, we were a little concerned about McVay sometimes in these big games with the timeouts last game and all that. Are you worried at all that, you know, he didn't have to listen. He got out coached versus Belichick, which, hey, I mean, it happens to everybody in that Super Bowl. But are you a little worried about him, like crunch time, whether it's a timeout or a fourth down or doing something, or you have the confidence in him?
Look, he's a young coach, and he's going to learn a lot of lessons even going forward. But he's got to be on top of his game. Yes, I am a little worried about him because the timeouts, in my opinion, they're so valuable, you know, that it's going to figure into this game.
Yes, it is. Yep.
And you need to preserve those things. Now, the challenges that I believe it was 2 games ago, he was 2 for 2 with the challenges. So he did well with those, but he's got to really have his head focused and really learn from his past and make the right decisions on those timeouts. And I think too, the defense, you know, when you get Aaron Donald on that defense, you know, they were interviewing different guys, and you know, he's focused and he's going to get that defensive line moving. He's going to get that defense going. And I think that's going to be the big difference in this Super Bowl game.
Before Beelan talks, I'm going to have Beelan, but will you just please tell Mr. Young Beelan that defense wins championships, Coach? Please tell him that.
Well, I always believe that. You know, when you watch the Chicago Bear defense, remember back in the
85.
85, yep.
That was phenomenal. I think I said 85 for the Rams Super Bowl, so obviously I had my year wrong. But I believe good defenses do win championships. But I'm going to tell you something, Kurt. The NFL rules have made this an offensive show.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, think about how hard it is to cover receivers.
Right. And no illegal contact 5 yards. You can't cover somebody like that. It's impossible.
Reeves did.
They've turned this into an offensive festival, and that's what sells tickets. That's what makes games exciting. So to play defense is pretty damn tough these days, in my opinion.
Beelan, what you got for Coach?
Not too much. I think I'm not sure. I might have to go back to my grandmother, but I think Coach actually coached me for Junior Bowl Makers, and I'm not.
What
I'm
year?
not
What-
I would have been probably from like 90 to like 94, maybe somewhere around there.
90 to 94. Yeah, very much so. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I was a Pee Wee coach from 1982 right up to 92.
Yeah.
And then I was an intermediate coach, and I had guys like, we had Miles, we had Louis
Ardian.
Castillo with us for Louis couldn't make weight, so he stayed with us through the whole month of August, and then he had to bounce up to the senior level. But yes, you may have played with us, and during the years you have so many young guys, and they change as they grow up, and so most likely, absolutely.
Yeah, I just remember, like, I see how the kids are now. Like, my son's getting to an age where he's going to start doing it too. But I can only imagine Kirk could probably see this too. Like me walking around with my helmet and my pads, just like, like talking crap to all the little kids, like. But
what, coaching junior guys, it's good for the soul.
Yeah.
And every kid is unique. Some of them you could really get on them a little bit, but some of them you have to just let them have their games and not say a word to them. But we had a tremendous group this year, and we won our Super Bowl, and so I'm hoping for another Super Bowl with the Rams.
I'll tell you this, Coach, and I swear to God, I did high school for, I don't know, 15 years or 16 years, but I don't know, like thinking about it now, like those junior football days, it's different, it's so different. Like I don't know if I want to say the community's more involved, but like you go to a Super Bowl and it's like that town's going to that Super Bowl, and I don't know, like I don't want to say it was more fun. I mean, listen, I loved coaching high school, but I love the junior football aspect. I love doing that. I loved it. It's like nothing else.
It is so much fun, Kurt. And what's a good part of it too is when they go to high school and they play in high school and they come up to you and they say hello to you as a coach. It's very rewarding, and a lot of them do stay in the sport, and many of them stay in the position that maybe we found for them when they were young, and that's rewarding and very exciting too.
Kenny, anything else for Coach?
Yeah,
Cangelo?
Coach, first I want to congratulate you in the Garfield Junior Boilermakers. I watched the show that night, and Kurt told me when all three, Jimmy's a good friend of ours, and
Jimmy's
on
a
the
great
show,
guy.
and he told us that all three teams won it, and I was happy, but I was not shocked, because I know the program that you guys put on over there since we were that age, Kurt. So I know the job you guys do there. And it's a tremendous job what you do with the kids, and can't thank you enough for all the time and effort that all you coaches put in down there.
I'm just a spoke in a wheel. We have a lot of great people there. We have some good head coaches. Jimmy was a head coach. He decided he wasn't going to come back, so my son was the intermediate coach, and then Jimmy had second thoughts, so he came on with us, and myself and Jimmy, we worked the defense. My son ran the offense, and it was just a great time. And and we struggled for numbers too. We in the beginning kids weren't coming out. They because they started playing fall ball the year before, because we're coming off of COVID. And once you lose the kids, it's not easy getting them back. And Jimmy was a big part of calling his whole team and getting them to sign up and come out for us. And so we had a lot of fun this year, really, and good kids too. You don't hear enough news when they talk about good kids. You hear all the bad stuff, and we had some exceptionally talented and polite and respectful children playing for our organization, and I was very happy with that.
That's awesome. That's
Thank you.
awesome.
Now, Kenny, we got to give him the most important question. What's his prediction?
That's
What's his
it.
prediction?
You got to get your prediction before we. That's the question of the night.
My prediction, I'm going to put my Ram hat on. I'm saying that the Rams are going to beat them 30-22.
Okay.
Awesome. Coach
MVP,
Frank.
Stafford.
I think it's going to be a close game through most of it. The defense is going to stand up. And Aaron Donald, I wouldn't want to block that guy. No way.
Who's the MVP, Coach?
He's too quick. He's too fast and strong.
MVP, got a pick?
MVP, I got to say, I would like to say it would be somebody like him, but I think Matthew Stafford would be the MVP.
Coach Frank.
Or Cooper Cup, one of those two.
Thank you so much for taking the time to be with us this evening.
It's a real pleasure.
Truly
Real
a pleasure.
pleasure.
Pleasure's all mine. And
Take care,
of course,
Coach.
speaking for us all, good luck on Sunday and get that Super Bowl victory.
Yeah, it's going to be nice, and hopefully it works out. And if not, still got to go to work the next day, right?
That's it.
Until they make it a holiday,
Well, it's getting pretty close to President's Day, isn't it?
Coach, you know what the best thing is? I swear to God, when Denver lost the Super Bowl in 2013, I'm getting text messages. Just wait until school tomorrow. But you know what the best part was? Blizzard, 2 days off of school. People calmed down for 2 days.
right.
So I didn't have to worry about it. But I took
Hey,
off
Kurt,
after we won it in 15, too.
I did pick Denver that year, so I was.
Coach Frank, anytime you want to join us, we'll
Absolutely,
reach out
Coach.
to you. We'd love to have you on again, obviously.
It's been a lot of fun. Thank you, guys.
Thank you,
Same,
Coach.
Coach. Have a good night.
Okay, you too.
Coach Frank Calandrilla, Kurt, who you and I
And
have
Coach Sis,
a lot of history with.
Yep, Coach. I mean, obviously, Beelan and Kenny knows him, but for Paul and Sis, you talk about junior football in Garfield. That the Calandrillo is the first name. I mean, like he said, from '82, he was on the Pee Wee level from '82 to '92. Then we went to the juniors, won Super Bowls there, and he's
He's a great person.
I'm so
True
surprised
friend,
he's not
true friend of my
statue.
family.
Guy's a class act. You can see it.
His family definitely true family friends
Yep.
to my family. I always have a place in my heart for them.
And how great is it now? His son's the head coach. They won the Super Bowl. He coaches with
Yep.
the son. That's awesome.
Yep.
Well, I brought in our
Solid
final
guy.
guest of the evening. I think I saved one of the best for last. Mr. David Slade from the Rocky Mountain Sports Network and Willow Blend and Seasonings has joined us. How you doing, Dave?
This is my guy.
Doing well.
right
How
here.
you guys doing?
By the way,
Good.
hold on.
Great.
I'm going to introduce him. You know how they say, like, you have work wives and work husbands in school and stuff? Dave and Matt, we're all like work wives and work husbands because all we do all day long is my phone's going ding, ding, ding. So, Dave, diehard Bronco fan, we might argue on this, but I love you. I love Matt. We're all Bronco fans. Don't let Beelan talk us out of this Bronco stuff, Dave. So,
Oh no.
because
I
he's
definitely-
gonna try to stir up pot
Dave's,
like he
Dave's
always
on
does.
my side, man.
Yeah,
But we ain't talking
I mean,
about that tonight.
Kurt.
No.
Even though you're misguided right now, we all love you.
There you go.
You know,
That's what I
but
like.
Dave,
just-
attaboy,
you're just
Dave.
totally misguided, my
There you
friend.
go.
Welcome to the show, Dave.
Thank you, sis. How you
Dave-
doing?
I'm good, buddy.
So, Dave, we're going to bring you on. We brought you on for you've been riding the Bengals for months. In fantasy football, you had Jamar Chase. You won our fantasy football league. On your shows, I watched and was part of your shows. You always picked the Bengals. You said, watch out for this team. So we didn't have a true Bengal fan, but you're the next best thing because you've been riding them and you've been high on them for months. But before we do your Bengals keys to winning this game, Paul has a segment for us, Cincy versus LA type of thing that I want to get to real quick before we get into Bengals keys of the game. And then Dave's got a little special something for us guys. He's going to give us some Super Bowl appetizer ideas as well.
Okay, so let's do the best of LA versus Cincinnati, La La Land versus the Queen City. Let's do Kurt, Sis, Beelan, and Kenny.
And then Dave, right?
And we
When you
got
put
Dave.
in
Dave. Showtime Lakers of the 80s or the Big Red Machine of the 70s? Kurt,
Lakers.
Sis.
Big Red Machine of the 70s, hands down.
Oh, I'm going with the Lakers.
Yeah, you're way too. Remember that?
You are the big red machine right now.
There you go. There you go.
We
Jeremy's
already
saying
know that.
Lakers.
You're way too young to remember that, my friend. I love you to death, but You were in diapers when they were playing.
Paul, I'll go Lakers because I've seen the Lakers. Red Machine I only seen on pretty much on video.
Okay. Dave?
I'm gonna go with Sis and the Big Red Machine.
Boy, there's my boy
I
right
mean,
there.
I can't stand the Lakers, so I could never pull for them.
I'm going to go with the Big Red Machine, too. In fact, I sat in Yankee Stadium for Game 4 when the Reds beat the Yankees and swept them in the World Series. Sorry about that, guys.
This guy's been to every game in the existence of sport.
And I'll tell you what,
God bless
I've been
you.
very blessed.
Yeah, you better say that again, my friend. That's
and that Reds
right.
that Reds team had a heck of a interior on the defense. On the interior infield, second and shortstop.
Oh yeah.
By the way, I don't want to interrupt you, Paul, but there's a little breaking news. I mean, it's just a report that's out, but the Cardinals' Kyler Murray could want. Are you ready for this? 50 to 55 million annually in a potential extension.
Yeah, okay.
What has he done for 50 to 55 million dollars?
Same thing.
We all agree with that.
As
Same
Dak
thing.
Prescott.
Rogers has done nothing.
Kurt, it's called the CBA.
I don't care what it's called. I'm not giving Kyler Murray anywhere near that money.
Half a gallon of ice cream and send them home.
Yeah. All right. Kurt, Kobe Bryant or Oscar Robertson?
Oh, wow, that's a tough one.
I got to go Kobe. I mean, I don't remember Oscar Robinson, and
Yeah.
I mean, Kobe was the closest thing to Jordan, so I'm going to go Kobe.
Sis?
Again, I'm going Oscar, man. Guy was, I mean, nothing against Kobe.
Yeah.
You ever saw Oscar Robertson play, fellas? Unbelievable.
Only you did, sis.
No, I saw him too.
Kobe.
Kenny?
Jeremy's going Kobe.
I'll go Kobe, just because of my, just because I had a default didn't see Robertson.
Beelan, I'm surprised
Beelan?
with one thing real quick for Beelan, excuse me. I'm surprised Mr. Calandrillo didn't remember who you were as a player, so I guess you didn't make that good of an impression.
Oh, Sis is throwing dimes tonight.
Oh, man. All right.
Too many young legends in Garfield.
You know I'm on the
Dave?
I'm gonna go with the Black Mamba. Kobe was something special.
All right. I'm going to go with Oscar. I think he was the first player to average a triple-double.
Yes, he was.
So,
Yes.
okay. Sandy Koufax or Pete Rose? Kurt?
Got to go Pete Rose.
Sis?
Sandy Koufax, hands down.
Yeah.
Listen,
Kenny?
I'm gonna go with Sis on this one. I'll go Sandy Koufax.
Listen, I love Sis, but Sis is really showing his age by all these picks he's doing.
Which is fun. I remember being in sixth grade when they played the Yankees, right? We were in a book room putting books away, and my gym teacher had a radio on, and he was pitching against the Yankees. I never forget that. 1964. Yep.
Pete Rose all day.
All right. Dave?
Well, if I was looking for gambling advice, it'd be Pete Rose, but I'm gonna go Sandy Koufax on this one.
I'm going to go with Sandy Koufax also. Maybe the greatest pitcher I've ever seen.
These are the real sports guys talking, but keep going.
All right. I'm going to take a little license here. Kurt Warner or Boomer Esiason?
Oh, man. Woo!
No, Kurt. Come on, Kurt.
I got to go Kurt Warner.
Absolutely.
Greatest show on turf.
Yep.
This?
Again, I never liked Boomer Esiason. Kurt Warner.
Kenny?
Are we talking as a talk show host? Because
Everything rolled up into one. He's a clown.
I'm going to take Kurt Warner. I'm sure.
Sis is not a Boomer fan, I could say.
Not at all.
Thielen, I know where you're going on this one.
Yep.
Even though he was your quarterback for a while. Dave?
Well, Boomer doesn't have a movie about his life, so I'm gonna go Kurt Warner.
I haven't
think
seen
he's-
that movie, Dave. Have you?
No, I haven't.
I heard
So
it's pretty good though.
I would
Be-
like to see it. I just don't want to pay money to see it.
Beelan,
I'll
you
wait till
seen
it
it
comes
yet?
out for free.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Yep.
Okay. Since we're talking about Los Angeles, movie Singing in the Rain, which took place in Los Angeles, or Rain Man, which took place in Cincinnati.
Real quick, I just got a text from the Joey Clams, and he said Sandy was the best of all time.
Yeah.
You heard it from
So,
Joey
thank you,
Clams
Joe.
himself.
There
Hey.
you go. I'm sorry, Paul. Can you give it to me again?
Singing in the Rain, since we're talking about LA, or Rain Man, which took place in Cincinnati.
I'll be honest with you. I don't think I've seen either. I'm not a good movie guy, so I'll
Oh,
go Rain
okay.
Man. I probably was that with what's his name?
Tom Cruise and
Tom
Yeah,
Cruise
yeah,
and
Dustin
I saw
Hoffman.
that. I
Dustin
saw that, so I got to see that. I'll say that one.
Okay. Sis?
I'll get a pizza. I'll put it on my card tomorrow. If Kenny can answer this question, who sang "Singing in the Rain"?
I
Come on, Kenny. Think.
Bing Crosby.
Close.
Tell him, Paul.
Gene Kelly.
Very good. That a boy, Paul. Me and you are in the same age bracket, Paul.
Yeah.
Me, you, and Dave.
Kenny.
Well,
Gene
I'm not
Kelly had
that
nice
far.
hair.
Beelan.
I'm going Rain Man.
Okay. Beelan.
Rain Man.
Dave.
Definitely Rain Man.
Okay. Kenny, I can't believe you had this question also. I had LA Law or WKRP in Cincinnati.
WKRP in
When you said that. That was great. Okay. For you music fans, Jim Morrison of The Doors or the Isley Brothers, who were from Cincinnati. If you know who the Isley Brothers are.
Doo-wop.
Oh, then I got to go Isley Brothers.
Okay. Sis?
Both great entertainers. Give me Jimmy Boy any day of the week.
Okay. Kenny?
Jim Morrison, L.A. Woman.
Yeah.
Beelan?
Jimbo.
Dave?
I'm gonna go Jim Morrison as well.
Okay. I'm going to go Isley Brothers. Okay. Almost similar to your question, Kenny. In-N-Out Burger or Cincinnati Chili?
Well, I'm not eating chili, so I got to go In-N-Out Burger.
Oh my goodness! You ever had that garbage, Kurt?
No, but I'm Dave. You think I'm picky?
Kurt,
If you think
Kurt,
I'm picky and the thing, wait until you see how what I eat. I eat nothing.
We just got In-N-Out Burger here in Colorado.
Not a fan?
I'd rather go to McDonald's.
Really?
Yes.
That's supposed to be the greatest thing.
No, only Californians tell you that.
Really?
Yes.
Because they're high half the time.
Right. Well, we are here in Colorado too.
No,
That's
but
legal.
Oh, so now I know, Kenny. Now I know what they're talking about on the chat. All right, I got it now. I got it.
All right, we'll go to next question then. Vince Scully or Al Michaels, who actually was a Cincinnati Red broadcaster back in the day.
I'm going Vince Scully. I mean, the guy that when he did those Dodger games by himself, it's like fantastic. I'm going Vince Scully.
All right, Sis.
Yeah, that's a really tough one. They're both great, but I'm gonna go with Kurt. I'm gonna go with Vince Scully because he did it alone.
Kenny.
Vince Scully, hands down.
Beelan.
Yeah, Vincey.
Dave.
I'll go Vince Scully.
And I'll go with Vince Scully too. All right, that's it.
Awesome.
Good job with tonight.
That was good.
Thank you.
So now it's time. We really brought Dave on for, like I said, he's been riding the Bengals. Again, Dave Slade, Rocky Mountain Sports Network, and Willow Seasonings. I'm going to be, when we do our Super Bowl appetizers, I'm going to put his company logo on the screen. But Dave, Kurt asked this question just before with Coach Calandrillo. What is your offensive key to the game for the Bengals and defensive key to the game for the Bengals?
Well, the offensive key to the game is don't get Joe Burrow killed. I mean, it's going to be hard. I mean, with that defensive front that the Rams have, but I really think they're going to have to. The key's going to have to be one. Run the ball. I don't care if you're getting a yard and a half each time. You got to run the ball because you can't become one-dimensional. So you have
Totally
to
agree.
at least try to run the ball. You can't abandon the run and just drop Burrow back 60 times in the game. That said, I would utilize the short passing game. If Ramsey's going to lock up one-on-one on Jamar Chase is a heck of a lot faster. He can get the separation at the line of scrimmage, hit him on those crossing routes, and let him outrun Ramsey. And then Ramsey he'll get in Ramsey's head, and Ramsey gets frustrated early. So, I would really try to get Jamar Chase taking advantage of Ramsey early to get into his head. Then maybe he'll start grabbing and things like that, and more penalties.
That's a great point.
Hey, Dave, hold on real quick. I just want to say goddbye to Beal, and he's got to bounce a little.
I gotta dip a little bit early tonight, but
John, thanks for
Give
joining
us your
us.
prediction real quick, Keelan.
34-31 Bengals.
MVP.
There you go.
MVP. Burrow.
Jamar Chase.
Well, there it is.
This dude's in my head, man.
There it is.
All right, John.
There it is.
See you, Beelan.
Talk to you later, Beelan.
Hey, John.
Take care, John.
Okay, Dave. Sorry, we have to.
No, that's all right. So, but definitely, I mean, and if Jamar Chase is gonna be locked up one-on-one with Jalen Ramsey, I think that's gonna also free up Boyd and dang, I can't think of his name off. Higgins, yeah, for big games, Now, one big thing that maybe may hurt Cincinnati is CJ Ojomu may not play. He's questionable right now, so I'm gonna say it's a Super Bowl. If you can walk, you're probably going out there at least trying at first, and then we'll see, because I think that's a big drop off in talent from him to their backup tight end. So, but we'll see how that goes.
Kenny,
Defense.
Oh, I'm sorry, Kenny. I got one on offense. I got one for you, Dave, because a lot of people are saying, like Beelan says 34-30, the Bengals got to outscore. Can the Bengals win an ugly game, or do you think it has to be more high scoring, or if it has to be a physical toe to toe and you have to win 20-17, can the Bengals do that, or do you think they need it to be a higher scoring game?
I think they can do it. I think it would be harder. I think a higher scoring game, is going to benefit them more than a lower scoring. I don't know if they can match 60 minutes of physicality with the Rams defense, especially that Cincinnati.
But see, I agree with you with your keto, Dave. The running the ball, I said it, they cannot go 4 carries for 7 yards and say, all right, we can't run the ball. You just got to keep running it and running it and running it. I mean, Burrow will get killed back there if they just throw him 60 times, like you said.
I agree.
I totally agree.
They'll just tee off on him. I mean, they'll start bringing the blitz and everything else, and that's another thing that Cincinnati's going to have to be able to hit some passes right there over the middle where those linebackers are usually sitting to sort of slow the Rams down from blitzing. The Rams know how bad this offensive line is, which they played a great game against Cincinnati. I mean, not Cincinnati, Kansas City.
Yeah.
I mean, Kansas City has a decent, offensive, defensive front. I mean, and their front seven's not bad. So if they can play like that, but you're talking about Donald, you're talking about Floyd, and you're talking about Von Miller. I mean, they just got guys coming from all over the place. But I think you have to hit some intermediate passes right in where those linebackers would be to sort of slow them down and make them hold their back there. And hopefully the Prince is the one that scares me on the offensive line for Cincinnati. I mean, he's had some very bad games, and then he gets beat and he just starts grabbing people and tackling them and just giving up penalties and putting them in long yardage situations. But do not get down on Cincinnati if they're down at the half by 10 points. I mean, Cincinnati's a second half team. They've showed it all season, and I want to raise a hands really quick. Who on here said Kansas City's better than Cincinnati? Kurt?
I'll probably say I thought they were better. Oh, meaning that?
I didn't.
Oh, no, I didn't. No, I know what you mean. I
They
thought
blew an
Kansas City
18-point lead. They weren't better than Cincinnati.
It's Cincinnati beat Kansas City twice this year.
Yeah.
So you can't say one game was a fluke.
That's true. I will give you that.
Yeah.
They did.
So,
Yeah, I didn't think of that. That's a good point, Dave.
Yeah,
all right. I just had to get that off my chest. When somebody said that, I almost fell over in my chair.
Go ahead, sis. What were you going to say, sis? I'm sorry.
again, the key stat to that, in my eyes, as a former player, coach, whatever, the Bengals held them to 3 points in the second half.
Right.
No, hats off.
How much would you have bet that they wouldn't be able to do that if you had a shot? I mean, come on.
Hey, hats off to Cincinnati's defense, right? But Dave,
They've been good in the playoffs. They're
No,
only
they
giving
have.
up.
But
they're giving up under 20 points a game.
They're
But
very
agree
Underrated.
disagree with this, though. Andy Reid and Bieniemy, whoever it is, and everyone said this all year on all our shows, everything on the TV. Kansas City is their worst nightmare because Kansas City, the defense has said, go ahead and run the ball 6 yards a carry, and they just won't do it. They want to win their way, throwing it deep. Kansas City ran the ball six yards a carry. Where was the running the ball in the second half?
Yep.
It's
Very
stupid.
true.
Especially when you're up. Especially when you're up.
Yeah, when you're
eight,
up and you have an
I-
18-point lead, you run the ball and eat that clock up. But
Not rocket scientists.
I think a lot of it is a Mahomes' ego problem
Yep,
out there
exactly.
in Kansas
Yep.
City.
They have to win their way. They have to win their way.
They do, and defenses have figured them out. If you have the personnel, to put pressure on Mahomes, you can beat him. But you have to have the players to do it, and you have to have guys that can stay with their speedy receivers.
Yep.
So,
I know we're going to overtime, Kurt. I'll pay the bills. It's overtime.
There you
It's Super Bowl show. Dave, we're going to hold off on the Super Bowl prediction. The other part of reason I want to bring you on is your company, and there's Sis got it right in the screen there. It's got the sweet heat.
And
if you want to give us a little,
my boy said.
I'm going to put on the screen your logo, Dave, that you sent me for Willow Seasonings, and if you can just share what your company is all about, and then give us some Super Bowl appetizer ideas using Willow Seasonings, if you have some for us in the audience.
Yep, I definitely do. So
there is Willow Seasonings and Blends LLC, guys, putting a little spice into your life, and that is Mr. David Slade's company, and I'll let him speak a little bit about it and share some appetizer ideas with us.
Yeah, we're a new company. Started up in February. It's been a year and a week now, actually today. So that the company was started. We didn't start selling product until July of last year. We're in 6 stores here in the Denver Front Range area. So, and we do some online sales, but it all started, during COVID. I was just bored, and I was sort of started playing with barbecue rubs and things like that. And, people would taste it and they say, well, why aren't you selling this stuff? This is good. And I always thought, well, these are family and friends. Of course they're saying that. So I reached out to the barbecue community, and a lot of them said, you need to get this stuff in the stores quick. So we started with 2 products. We started with Sweet Heat. We started with Sweet Smoke. We've also now have a Feisty Lime Fajita seasoning. And then we have a high elevation salt, pepper, and garlic rub as well. So
nice.
Yeah.
And I have had, like Sis, I've had the smoke and heat. I am waiting for trout season is opening up here. I'm going to go catch some fresh trout and use the Feisty Lime.
I'll tell you what, that's delicious. Trout. Every time we have salmon now, we put that Feisty Lime on it. It's delicious. And
Paul, I got some here for you. I'm going to mail some down to you, my friend. I know you like to barbecue.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. And so Dave, I know, first of all, you hosted or you going to a Super Bowl party?
We're hosting here at our house.
So you're definitely going to have some good Super Bowl appetizer ideas, I'm sure.
Yeah, and these are the things that are going to be on my my spread out on the kitchen counter and stuff. So first, chicken wings. You got to have chicken wings. So the way I do my wings is I'll rinse them up and everything, coat them in sweet heat barbecue seasoning, and then I'll smoke them for about an hour and a half at about 195 degrees. Smoke them, and then what I'm going to do, I just bought an air fryer. So usually I would go out, I would crank up my my grill up to 400 degrees and just crisp them up that way. But I got a Ninja air fryer. So this year I'm going to, after I'm done smoking them for about an hour and a half, I'm just going to throw them in that air fryer to crisp them up a little bit. So, and then another good thing that we make with it is smoked cream cheese. Now, if you guys have not had this stuff, so I take the sweet smoke seasoning and I just take a block of cream cheese, and you build almost like a little boat out of foil, or a little like almost like a little baking dish out of foil, and you coat the entire piece of cream cheese, and you put it in there and you smoke it for about an hour on the grill, and then you serve it up with like some wheat thins or Triscuits or something like that. And then another thing, I don't know if you guys back east get burnt ends much, but burnt ends is a delicacy, in the barbecue community. It started in Kansas City, and basically what it is it's a part of the brisket, that's cut off, and after you pull off your brisket and you cut off the point, you cut it up into chunks, about 1 inch chunks, and then you coat it in barbecue sauce, and then you throw it back on the smoker for about an hour and let that barbecue sauce caramelize. But I usually I'll use a combination of sweet heat and sweet smoke on my brisket and on the burnt ends, and it's delicious. But if you don't want to take 16 hours and smoke a brisket, today I actually did a poor man's burnt ends, and that's basically doing it with a chuck roast. So I smoked a chuck roast for about 4 or 5 hours, pulled it off, cut it into pieces, tossed it in barbecue sauce, threw it into an aluminum pan, threw it back on the grill for about another hour and a half, and let that sauce caramelize. And that they refer to it as meat candy. So if you've never had a burnt end, they're amazing. They're so tender they almost melt in your mouth.
You're making me hungry, Dave.
So, and then some other things we're having, and they're not with our stuff, but my wife wants to do bacon wrapped dates. So we'll be doing those. And then I'll be doing some bacon wrapped jalapeno poppers stuffed with cream cheese.
Burnt tips.
Nice.
So
awesome, Dave. And anything for dessert? Anything special for dessert?
Maybe some M&Ms. I don't know. I got a bag of M&Ms laying on the
know
counter.
what?
Maybe I'll just grab some of those. I might be comatose
You just
by
gave me a
then.
good idea
Food coma.
with M&Ms. Making like a popcorn, like a little snack for people to grab. A little popcorn, M&Ms, maybe like almost like a Chex
Trail
Mix
mix.
type thing, trail mix type
Yeah,
thing.
like a trail
and
mix.
sprinkle some of your sweet smoke on the popcorn and
Oh, man.
mix it up. I think that might be something.
Man, I'm gonna have to try that.
Sweet and salty.
That might
Yeah.
be something there, my friend. But
Well, if you want
Dave.
some spiciness, throw some of that sweet heat in there.
yeah,
Dave,
Yes, yes.
get the bacon with the water chestnuts and grill them underneath the grill, and let me know what you think of that.
Bacon
Be water
wrapped water chestnuts.
Just try it and let me know how you like that.
All right, I will see if I can find some water chestnuts, and I'll do that.
I don't
If
even know
you're
what
like
water
anything-
chestnuts are.
Anything that has bacon on it is good.
yeah.
I mean, come on, I could wrap my car bumper in bacon and grill it. We would all
It's
think
true.
it tasted good.
That's awesome.
Again, guys, this is Willow Seasonings and Blends LLC. Please check them out. And Dave, you got a website, right? WillowSeasonings.com. I see it on there, right there. I see it.
WillowSeasonings.com, and right now we're having a winter sale, and it actually goes all the way until winter ends, so it goes till March 19th. $6. It's either $6 or $6.50 a bottle. I can't remember off the top of my head. Normally they're $10.95 a bottle, so it's a huge discount. So anybody out there wants some, head over to Willow Seasonings and Blends and pick some up.
Absolutely. Dave, thank you so much for sharing some Super Bowl appetizer ideas and spending some time with us. Kurt, I think it's time for our Super Bowl predictions.
Yes, sir. Dave's not making it though, right, Kenny? Or he is?
Dave's not making what?
Oh, no. I thought you said, Kenny, you weren't getting his prediction tonight, or we are.
Dave, yeah.
Okay. So you know what? Let's start. I'll start with Sis first. Sis, give me prediction, score, and an MVP.
No, this is not tomorrow night. It's tonight.
Well, then you know what? Just give us the winner tonight. We'll get into, because we're doing more of the gambler side. Let's just do winner tonight.
All right, so you want the straight out winner?
Straight out winner.
No point. I like the Cincinnati Bengals.
All right, Dave.
I'm gonna go Cincinnati, and being that I won't be on your show tomorrow, I'm gonna go 31-27 Cincinnati.
MVP.
MVP. I'm gonna say probably Joe Burrow.
All right, Mr. Rosen.
The LA Rams will win 23-20. Matthew Stafford will be the MVP. He will bring the Rams back from a 20-16 deficit and throw a last-second touchdown to OBJ to win the game and win the MVP. 23-20.
I'm going to take the Rams, and, you know, I don't remember who said it before, but I just think the defense, and, you know, last year that defensive line from Tampa Bay just was all over Kansas City, and I think they're going to do it again. And don't be surprised. I don't know, Dave, if it's our boy Vaughn, but I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say that defensive line is going to be so good that, like Donald, one of those guys, it's going to get a defensive guy in that line is going to get MVP. Kenny, I know it's going out on a limb, but that's just, I'm going to go with it.
I'm going to go Rams. Kind of pulling for the Bengals, but I'm going to go Rams. But I'm going to say high scoring like everybody else. I am going to say because it's a home field advantage. I still think it's home field advantage for the Rams. They're playing at their home stadium. They don't have to travel. They're going to practice and they're going home. They're an hour, within an hour away of they're going to their homes. The Bengals have been staying in hotel all week. It's a lot for a young team, I think. So I'm going to take the experienced team. We'll do scores tomorrow, but I think it's going to be closer than people think. I would not be surprised if the Bengals win. MVP, I'm going to go Stafford, but if I'm going long shot, if I want to throw, little spoiler for wits and wagers, I'll throw Jalen Ramsey in there. He's going to be glued to Chase, and Burrow makes the mistake, and he gets an interception and stops Chase. So I'll go Jalen Ramsey as a dark horse MVP.
Okay.
Final thoughts, Mr. Valenti?
Final thoughts. Let's go with real quick, Dave. Favorite Super Bowl of all time? Is it 32?
32. Every day, all day, every day.
My favorite, real quick, Dave, though, went 32, 50, 33.
Yeah, 33 was sort of a sleeper.
Yeah, I just, you know what? I don't know. I just felt like that whole 4-year Manning era came down to, listen, if we don't win it, this is it in 50. And, I just think that whole playoff run was, Big Ben. I know they didn't have Antonio Brown and whatever. Then we had to beat Brady at home and then the MVP Cam. So that was my second favorite, and then 33.
My quick question to you guys. Which one was the hardest to watch? So when you look, because we only lost one, so obviously the one we lost.
I'll say this, Dave, as a Bronco fan, all our losses were disasters. So it was it's not like
blowouts.
we have no heartaches. I mean, I would still
the
say
first one against the
Oh,
Giants.
you know
was,
what? I didn't see the Dallas one.
The Giants one wasn't a blowout with Sims and Elway.
Yeah, we lost by 19 points.
Yeah, lost by
39 to
19.
20.
Second half.
Yeah.
But the one
30
that was
points.
the one that was a disappointment to me was the
40
Washington one.
Oh, yeah. 10-0 they were up.
You know, you're winning 10-0.
Yeah.
You know, and then you just collapse and give up 35 points in the second quarter
Yeah.
to a no-name quarterback.
Right. I'll just say this, though, Dave. And the most disappointing was definitely 48. You know, not only that it was in our backyard, but if you ever said to somebody that score is going to be 43-8, you would be like, Manning's going to rip them up.
Right.
That's
No
never
way.
happened. Seattle's not scoring. I mean, Seattle scored every way. Kickoff return, a safety. It was a nightmare watching that game.
Well, as soon as that first snap was
right over
Manning's head, I
Yeah.
was like, boy, this isn't going to be a good game.
Well, I got one more for Dave, Kenny. I swear, but I promise. One more last Bronco question.
No, fine. I'm fine. It's
My
Super Bowl,
worst
not
two
Super Bowl
Bronco
special.
losses ever, not even those Super Bowls, 96 Jacksonville and 2012 Baltimore. Both divisional round games, both number 1 seeds. Those were the two worst Bronco losses I've seen.
I'll agree with you wholeheartedly, especially that Jacksonville one.
I mean, come on. They were up, 12-0 in that game or 13. They were up 13-0 in that game. You're playing a second-year Jacksonville, and that was a bad loss.
Tom Coughlin coaching that team.
Tom Coughlin,
Right.
yeah. Mark Brunell, Mark Brunell was like Steve Young. We couldn't touch him. Seriously, like every third down he converted. It was like nuts. All right, let's do this.
Kurt.
Final thoughts. Oh, I'm sorry, Paul.
No, as bad as those two games you mentioned, Sissel and I'm sure Kenny will remember. In my opinion, the worst Giants loss ever. 49er Giants game. Giants up by 24 points in the 2000.
Oh, San Fran,
Jim Fossil. Jim
Oh,
Fossil,
my-
when they
yeah.
faked they threw the ball and it was clearly pass interference and the referee
Yeah.
looking
Yeah.
right at him.
You're
and-
not
and
getting
refused,
that call.
Refused to throw the flag out there. Give me a break. He's getting tired.
Yeah, that was
Paul, we beat your boy Conklin when I was at Seton Hall. He was the head coach of Rochester. We beat them 31-24, and we were a 35-point underdog.
no kidding.
True story.
Wow.
That's a true story. Yeah.
All right, let's do this. Let's do final thoughts. We'll give it to our special guest, Dave. You got the floor. Final thoughts.
I think there is so much pressure on the Los Angeles Rams. This team, they sold everything. I mean, they mortgaged everything to build a team to win a Super Bowl. And I think there's so much pressure on them. And if they lose, I mean, this is just an utter failure, and people should lose jobs over this. You know, I mean, you don't have a first round draft pick till 2025. You know, I mean, if they lose this game, it's a huge failure in my opinion, and I think that pressure is going to be insurmountable for those guys.
All right,
And,
I'll go
and
next.
Dave, I
Oh,
just
sorry.
want to just Dave to share 4th and 99 and Rocky Mountain Sports Network your schedule this week, Dave, and
Oh, okay.
going forward.
Yeah, 4th and 99. We will have a show Saturday at noon Eastern time, 10 Mountain time. Actually, Kenny's going to be joining us. It's going to be our Super Bowl show, so we'll be doing that. And then starting after that, will be on Saturdays at 10 a.m. Until the regular season starts again. Then we'll go back to our Wednesday time slot, and then our Sunday pregame and postgame shows.
And your Friday freestyle show, Dave, that one's a lot of fun.
Yes, I forgot all about that. So we have a Freestyle Friday where it's at 10 o'clock a.m. on Friday, and it's pretty much just whatever people want to talk about. We don't go in with an agenda, and we just rely on the people that are viewing the show to throw us some comments, and we'll just start talking about things. 2 weeks ago, we were talking about college gymnastics. So
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I did the show with you and Matt last week, and I had a lot of fun doing that. You don't know what's coming up next, and you don't know what you're going to talk about, like you said. So that was a lot of fun.
All right, I will go next. Dave, thank you for joining us. Listen, us Bronco fans got to stick together. I know we may argue like little girls, but you know what? Hey, we love each other. We're all Bronco fans, and we'll be ready to go. On another note, the Super Bowl, I hope everyone enjoys it. I hope it's a great game. I am on the Rams. I do agree with Dave. Hey, you know what, Mr. McVay? A lot of pressure on you, a lot of pressure on Stafford. I agree with the moves they made because they're here. But you know what? It's not like they better win now. They better win. They better win one Super Bowl in this McVay Stafford area, or that is complete bust. And on the third thing, Kenny, you and I, maybe Sis and Paul, we got to get on another thing because I could talk 3 hours about these friggin' Knicks. I'm disgusted. It's a joke. And I'm going to tell you this right now. They should all be ashamed of themselves. And Julius Randle is the biggest joke. Because if you watched that game versus Denver last night, we don't have Mitchell Robinson. What did we give up, Dave? 130? I mean,
132
in the first half.
83 in the first half.
But you know what? I don't want to hear teams complaining about they don't have players either.
I know.
I mean, look what Joker's doing. With 2 of our top 3 players gone.
I'm disgusted. And Kenny, I we talk about this all the time, but here's my last thing. I was the biggest guy. I want Kyrie and KD. Kenny, I don't want them. Let's build it. We'll take Randall. Kenny sold me for it last year. Now, right down the tubes. Besides RJ, get rid of everybody. Quickly, Toppin. We're not going to win with these guys. We're just not going to win. Thibodeau don't want to coach the young guys. It's a joke. It's a disaster. It's a disaster. Seriously. That's my final word. The Knicks are a disaster. Paul.
You sure that was the final word?
You don't get away. Unreal.
A month ago, you asked me, who would you trade from the Knicks? And I shocked you guys. I said, Julius Randle. You looked at me like, what the hell? Are you crazy? Now you know why.
Yes.
Okay. Anyway, so a little while ago, we said, these the 2 best teams in the Super Bowl? We said they're probably not. But you know what? Sometimes the 2 best teams, as we saw last year with Kansas City and the Bucks, don't make for the best Super Bowl. So I think these 2 teams are going to be matched very well. I think these teams are going to be, it's going to be a close game. I think I'd like to see a close game. I want to see a close game. I don't want to be bored after the first half. And I think and hope that the teams come out, play well, and it's a close game throughout the whole contest. And I think the Rams will pull it out. So that's my thoughts.
All right, Mr. Sis, you're fine. Did you like that little rant?
Kurt
Mr. Sis?
is like my brother. I love him to death. But I can tell you this, fellas. When it comes to big games, college, pro, Super Bowl, no, he's 0-3 in Super Bowl games. Anyway.
Really, Kurt?
Yeah, my last 3, I am. Yeah.
It's like Aaron Rodgers, huh?
Yeah,
exactly.
Almost.
Yeah.
Almost.
That's why you want him.
I want to give Paul his kudos because he called Wink going to the Giants.
Yes, great move for the Giants.
Paul, did you see the late addition this afternoon who they're looking to put on that staff?
Are you talking about one of the Ryan brothers?
Oh, my God. No, don't do that.
I know. Who are you talking about?
He's terrible. Him and his ponytail.
I know.
I don't want no coach with a ponytail on my team. But anyway.
So who are you speaking about, him or?
Yeah, yeah. I don't want him.
I know.
Well,
I know.
Kurt,
Believe me.
Kurt, I mean, Sis, just wait about 10 years and you'll have coaches with man buns and everything else.
Oh, yeah. You know what? You're laughing. Again, you're 100% right. You're 100%
man.
right. But everybody enjoy the games. Don't eat too much. And I'll be texting Kurt at the half when the Bengals are up 21-7.
Mr. Kirkpatrick, take it away.
Knicks. I'll give up on Randall just like you guys. I was the biggest Randall fan, but he can't handle the pressure in New York. That's
No.
it about the Knicks. Wink Martindale, love the guy down here in Baltimore. Watched a lot of the Ravens games. The guy, in my opinion, is a great defensive coordinator, very aggressive. I think that's what the Giants need, aggressiveness on defense. Love the hire. And back to the Super Bowl. First of all, thanks to everybody, Dave, Frankie, Carson, your nephews, Kurt, everybody joining us tonight. A lot of fun to have everybody on.
Yep.
Give us their Super Bowl thoughts. And last but not least, enjoy the game. It's perfect Davy versus Goliath situation. You got your team building, rebuilding in small market Cincinnati, and you got your team large market going for the buying their way in. So you got the buy-in against the rebuild. It's the perfect storyline for the Super Bowl, and let's hope we get a good game.
And you know what I love, Kenny, too, is when that game is over on Monday morning, look, we have 2 Bronco fans, no playoffs. 3 Giant fans, no playoffs. But Monday morning, you wake up, everybody's even, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's
We're
even.
all 0-0.
Let's go.
And you know what? You all nailed it. The Rams better win this game.
They
Because if
better.
not, it could be an epic failure over there. And that's my final thought. Enjoy the games, everybody.
All right.
And enjoy
Thank
the
you.
game. We'll see you for Wits and Wagers tomorrow night.
See you tomorrow.
And Dave, I will
All right.
definitely see you guys Saturday. Looking forward to spending the hour with you and Keith.
Yeah,
4th and
definitely
99.
looking forward to it.
Have a good night.
All right, thanks for having me.